All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gretchen Marcelo, and I will be with you until 8 p.m. today. And we are very much live, so don't get confused that I just greeted you good morning despite the time, because here at Grupo, we always greet each other good morning because we want to set that very refreshing mood, and we are operating globally. Thus, again, good morning po sa ating lahat. Magandang umaga. Now, I'm sure that you are excited and very interested to learn from this session because pretty much nakaka-relate tayo, no? This is already part of our lives. Yung topic natin, sobrang ganda po. So, okay, so here on this picture, you would see here a ladder, no? Bakit po hagdan yung ating picture when in fact we are going to talk about debt management? Yes, because as we all know, financial wellness is a process, no? Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an overnight thing. So even before you can take the first step to greater financial heights, it is important to assess and understand your current financial disposition. So let's ask ourselves, asan ba akong parte ng hagdan, no? Dito sa picture na to, andito ba ako sa ilalim? Andito ba ako sa gitna, or andun na ako, malapit na ako sa aking dreams, no, sa financial independence? So where are you in the financial wellness ladder? And nagpo-progress po ba tayo, and gaano tayo kabilis? That is, or those are the questions that we have to ask ourselves in order for us to assess asan na ba tayo when it terms of financial independence. So for today, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to help you climb up the ladder to financial independence by equipping you with the right knowledge on how to get started. So you have to take that initial step, no, of freeing yourself from debts even before you can start saving to achieve the state of being financially healthy individual. So ito na po ang aking first question. Let me grab my phone. Can you please define, or ano po ba sa tingin nyo ang definition ng isang financially healthy individual? Ayan. Medyo naglalag po ba? Wala pa. Someone who makes sound financial decisions. Ayan, thank you so much. Meron pa po bang gustong humabol? We are actually 135 in the room and counting. Ayan, may nagsabi debt-free, zero debts. Nakalabas ng pera anytime. Have resources in case of emergencies. I like that. Debt-free, able to sustain needs. Someone who is secured, can afford. Ang dami nag-share. Thank you so much for for those answers and for participating, no. Actually, tama po yung mga sagot nyo, no. Defining a financially healthy individual, which is the ideal financial state. Let's start first with understanding our current financial health status, no. On these photos, makikita nyo tatlong pictures, no. And according to our definition, a financially healthy individual is someone who is able to meet his financial obligations on time. Ayan. So okay lang, may mga loans, may mga bills, ang daming expenses, may mga bayarin, it's okay. So long as you are able to pay it in full and on time. Ayan po. And on the second picture, ang nakalagay po dito, qualification is an individual who is someone who has funds to address emergencies such as sickness and accident. Ayan. Pag sinabi po kasi nating sickness and accident, it can happen to us or our loved ones, no, at any given point of time. So hindi talaga natin alam kung kailan siya mangyayari. And we really need to be ready and prepared, no? Otherwise, mahihirapan po tayo makarecover. All right. So ang nakalagay dito, lastly, on the third photo, a financially healthy individual is someone who has funds to realize his future dreams. Ayan, ang sarap pag-isipan, no? Pag-usapan, pagkapangarap na yung ating iniisip. So it may be tangible. It can also be intangible, no? So for some of you, or most of us, we would like to have our own house, no? Pag sinabi nating bahay, we have to be really specific because the only way that we can put a very strategic action or plan in order for us to reach our goal is when we are specific kung ano ba yung gusto nating pangarap na maabot. No? So when we are talking about house, is it a contemporary house or is it a bungalow house? Where is it gonna be located? Dito lang po ba sa Manila or is it going to be in the provinces? Ayan. Why? Why is it important, ladies and gentlemen? All right? Because, again, hindi natin mapapagplanuhan ng maayos kung hindi po tayo specific. All right? So, we also have to understand our financial situation. So, part of our current financial situation would be the needs, no? Yung mga needs natin that we need to satisfy. And of course, meron ding wants that we feel the need to satisfy. So on top of the list, it should also include our basic necessities. Pag sinabing basic necessities, ito yung mga bagay that we can live without. Ano po ba yung mga yon? Siyempre, andyan yung food, no? Andyan yung clothing, andyan yung shelter. And of course, ang transportation, no? You may own your cars o pwede rin namang fares, no? In order for you to transport, no? Kailangan may mga expenses din po tayo doon. And we also promote life-work balance. So vacation is also part of a necessity for some. Syempre, quality time yun with their families and loved ones. Education, ayan. Lahat naman po ng ating tayong mga magulang, pangarap natin talaga na ang ating mga anak ay makapag-aral sa magandang paaralan. Alright. Now, to realize all of those expenses and necessities, makikita nyo dito, because of the unending expenses, however you want to save, ito pong piggy bank natin, nagkakaroon ng sakit. Yung sakit po niya, LBM. And in the financial definition, ang tawag po natin dyan is loose budget movement. Now, however you want to save, it keeps on ejecting your money. No? Kasi nga po, hindi po natin alam yung paano yung tamang pamamaraan. So, what we call, again, loose budget movement. So here on this photo, makikita nyo po, pantay po, no, yung timbang between the needs and the wants. And we normally think that we are to spend on needs, no, on a daily basis. Pero syempre, lalo na rin sa ating mga women, no, there will be many distractions. Kahit nasa bahay lang tayo, nakahiga lang tayo sa kama, mapapansin nyo, there's an easy access to e-commerce. We have account for Shopee, we have account for Lazada, there's Sephora, and even Marketplace. Pati po sa FB Live, ang dami ng mga sellers. So, there will be many distractions along the way, but that will also keep us from reaching our dreams, no? Pagka may mga discounts, may mga pagpunta natin sa mga mall, ang daming sale, ang daming event, dapat ang ideal photo po, our needs outweighs our wants. Hindi po siya pwedeng pantay if our current status is nasa debt situation tayo. All right. So one of the challenges in going up the financial wellness ladder is a continuous struggle between needs and wants. And as humans, ayan, we have unlimited needs and we also have unlimited wants. We tend to spend nga lang po on the wrong things. Ayan. So, kita nyo po dyan, it's really a struggle. Now, we need to identify, and alam naman po nating lahat, ano yung difference between needs and wants, no? And the problem is, yun nga po, nabanggit ko kanina, we tend to overspend on the wants. And kailangan po talaga, of course, we need to prioritize muna ang ating needs in order for us to alleviate from our debts, no? So yung needs natin, again, these are the things that we need for survival. Bahay, pagkain, edukasyon, no? Damit, yun po yung ating mga basic needs. Now, the wants is yung kabaliktaran. These are the things that we can forgo, no? Hindi naman po natin siya kakalimutan, pero park lang po muna natin siya, no? I-push back lang po muna natin siya because these are the things that we can live without and we can delay. Ayan. So, pagka po kasi hindi natin siya iba-budget or hindi po natin didisiplinahin at kokontrolin yung ating mga sarili, it will lead us to having budget constraints, no? Magiging limited lang po ang ating budget. Thus, the need to borrow money in case of any emergencies, no? Or in any case that there's a want that you feel the need to satisfy. Ang tendency po natin, pag kulang yung budget, manghihiram na naman po tayo. That will lead us again to incurring debts, no? Because our resources are just limited. So that will lead us again to this trap. It's a trap. No, it's the debt trap. Incurring debt is a never-ending cycle. That's why we call it a trap. And this is a very vicious cycle po. No? Again, I mentioned earlier, our resources are limited and our wants and needs are unlimited. No? So say for example, ito po yung example natin dito sa cycle na to. You are planning to celebrate your child's birthday in the restaurant. No? So, syempre, isipin natin, may budget tayo, no, para dyan sa pagkain sa labas. Sabihin na lang natin na 3,000 pesos because all of the family member will have a buffet. So, sumptuous lunch, no? Sarap. Pero on the way to the restaurant, napansin nyo na merong sale. Tinatawag yung pangalan nyo. I'm on sale and it's 70% off. Sige nga po, let's do the math. If yung isang napakagandang dress na yun, kulay pula, no? And you really want to buy that dress and it's on a discount. Ang regular price niya is 1,000 pesos. And 70% yung discount. Magkano po yung natipid nyo? Patingin nga po, magkano po yung natipid natin? Dun sa 1,000 na sale. 700. 70. Ayan, 700. 700. Wala. Sabi ni Miss Daniel. 700. 700. Ayan. Actually, meron ako nakitang tamang sagot. Hindi ka po nakatipid, napaggastos ka pa po. That is correct. Kasi you spent on an item that you don't need. So, ibig sabihin, kumurot ka ng 300 pesos sa budget mo. So, pag dumating yung time that you need to use that 300 pesos for your child's tuition, dito po, spend for education or incidental expenses, saan po tayo kukuha kung bitin na po yung budget natin? And not to mention the dues, no, the paid due loans. So, meron pa rin po tayong mga unexpected expenses sa household. Yung mga maintenance natin, no? Pag may nasirang gripo, pag may tumulong ulan sa bubong, no? Pag na-flat yung tire, and pag nagkaroon tayo ng additional member of the family. No? So, yun po, we really need to be disciplined kasi it doesn't necessarily mean na it's on sale, nakatipid po kayo. Kasi nga po, gumastos po kayo sa bagay na hindi nyo pa kailangan. That cycle again or that situation will put you to borrowing money again to satisfy both your needs and wants. Paikot-ikot. And again, it's a trap. Ayan. Now, ito po yung question natin dun sa poster, no? And I know that you know the answer to the question, pero I'd like to see kung ano po yung inyong mga sagot. Is having debts good or bad? Sige nga po, ladies and gentlemen, can I see po, is it good or bad? Good po if gagamitin para kumita, depende sa paggagamitan, not necessarily, it depends both. Depending if you use the money to grow. Tama po. Thank you so much for those answers. Those are all correct kasi talaga naman pong it depends. It is okay to have debts as long as you are going to pay them on time and in full. And it is actually good if it will increase your net worth in the future. No? So, let me share these success stories. I'm sure that familiar po kayo kay Mr. Big J, si Sir John Gokongwei, no? Ang may-ari ng Robinson's Galleria. Kasi may twist yung story niya eh. So, from riches to rags, to riches. Yun po ang kanyang buhay. So what happened to his story? Pinanganak siya with a silver spoon, no? In fact, pumapasok siya sa school, being driven by his own chauffeur. Yan. Sosyal na sosyal. Meron siyang chauffeur, meron siyang kotse, meron siyang driver. Prestigious school. Meron silang sariling sinihan in Cebu. So, ganun ka ganda, no, yung kanilang buhay. Ganun sila kakilala. But one day, an unexpected life event happened. Yung tatay niya suddenly passed away. Nagkaroon siya ng, what do you call that? Yung pinapalitan yung dugo, dialysis. And accidentally, ibang blood type po yung nabigay sa kanya. So, which caused him to pass away unexpectedly. So, that event, syempre, no, emotionally and masyadong down yung buong pamilya kasi hindi nila ine-expect that that's gonna happen. And because of that, wala pong nakakaalam kung paano paikutin yung kanilang negosyo. Hindi po nila alam kung paano rin paikutin yung mga loans. And it ballooned up. No? Sadly, nakita niya at na-witness niya kung paano nawala lahat isa-isa sa kanila. The businesses, the house, everything that they own, even the friends. Yan. Kasi before, sikat na sikat siya, meron siyang sinihan. But now, nung nawalan sila, nawalan siya ng mga kaibigan. So, very saddening, no? And because his father didn't have an insurance, wala po talaga silang aasahan. So, what he did, dahil sa sobrang hirap ng buhay, he sent his mother together with his siblings back to China. Tapos siya po, dito sa Pilipinas, nag-stay po siya dito siya nagpursige. At alam niyo po kung magkano yung, yung kapital niya sa negosyo? 20 pesos. Yan, 20 pesos lang po, no? And doon siya nagsimula, ginawa niya, nagbenta siya ng mga gulay-gulay sa harapan ng palengke. And kung hindi po ganun ka dami yung traffic ng tao, meron siyang bicycle. Kaya meron siyang story about bicycle stage. So yun po, medyo kumikita naman siya doon, enough for him to survive. Survive lang po. Now, nagkaroon siya ng maraming knowledge about business. So nag-start naman siya ng trading niya na negosyo. So from Manila to Cebu, Cebu to Manila, nagte-trade siya, no? Nag-aangkat siya ng mga gamit, may gulong. Ayan. So kumikita siya doon. After several years, dumami po yung kanyang connection and lumaki rin po yung kanyang knowledge. That's when he got an idea to have a loan in the bank. Yung pong niloan niya sa bangko is 500,000 pesos. Doon po niya sinimulan yung kanyang unang malaking negosyo. It's a corn mill, no, Rubina, something like that. So, mind you po na marami na po siyang stream of income, no, sources of income when he started that business. So, doon po talaga siya lumaki na lumaki hanggang nagkaroon na siya ng real estate, nagkaroon na siya ng Cebu Pacific, nagkaroon na siya ng mini-stop, nagkaroon na siya ng yung mga junk food, sa kanya rin po yun. Tapos nagkaroon na siya ng mall. So, yun, that's a good debt. Kasi nag-increase yung kanyang net worth. Napaikot niya ng mabuti. An example of a bad debt is someone who just joined the bandwagon. No? Nung unang panahon, years back, sikat na sikat po yung Uber, sikat na sikat po yung Grab. So yung iba, sige, marunong ako mag-drive without the knowledge, no, of the business. Umutang po ng kotse. So what happened was, because of pandemic, nagbawas din po ng driver ng prangkisa ang Grab. So nawalan din po ng kita yung iba. So yun po yung bad debt. Kasi inutang lang din po nila yung kotse and wala po silang pambayad because nawalan din sila ng source of income. So again, paying beyond what you can afford on a monthly basis not only limits your opportunities to making other dreams a reality, it also gives little room to address emergencies. Ayan. So you need to be ready with any emergencies that you need to address. Kasi being unprepared po, no, for any life showstopper will just lead you to borrow money or, ang sad nun, liquidate your investments right away. Alugi pa po. Alright, so now that we know na alam naman po natin na debts are either good and bad, and it depends kung paano po natin siya gagamitin. On this photo, you would see here a picture, no, of pets and dreams. And of course, dreams are really important for us, no? For self-fulfillment, for the comfort of our loved ones. And syempre, in order for us to make our dreams come true, kailangan po natin ng funds. Di ba po? And funds are usually what you will need to make them into a reality. Ayan. So, let me ask this question. Sino po magpapabili ng balot? Ayan. Pasensya na po sa background noise. Yan. All right. So, again, borrowing money can be a quick fix. It's just a band-aid solution kasi po, having debt can limit your options in life. Matatrap na naman po tayo. So again, let me remind you with this, pay off your debts so you can already start paying for your dreams. Ito na po yung pinakahihintay natin. Paano nga? Kaya nga ako nanood kasi interested ako. Gusto ko nang makawala sa aking mga utang. So how to get started? Of course, we need to start by preparing a debt payoff plan to clear yourself from debts. No? Ano po ba yung kailangan natin gawin? Very basic. First, we just need to understand and list down all of your debts. Isa-isahin po natin siya, yung ating mga utang. You know why po? Because for most people, they don't or they only start to realize their debts once they have already started to account, accounted. No? And second, once na nailista nyo na po yan, check alin po ba dito yung may pinakamataas na interest rate. Alin po ba dito yung pinakamalapit na yung due date, no? Because we need to prioritize to pay off debts that have the highest interest rate, no? Of course, we don't set aside yung other debts with low interest because again, pagka pinabayaan, these small debts will eventually balloon, no? If not paid off and settled immediately. So what we do with the rest, yung mga mabababa po yung interest rate, minimum po muna natin. Okay, so lista lahat, prioritize the ones with higher interest rate, and yung may mga minimum interest rate, pay them in minimum amount. Okay po.